Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I am Connor Williams, and we're back once again with another 24/7 news report. We start this news report, as always, with our headline news. And our headline news isn't actually about the managerial fiasco, merry-go-round. It's not so much that now, it looks a dead cert, but it's not about the manager and the vacant hot seat. It's about a transfer. And our headline news is that James Rodriguez in advanced negotiations with AC Milan. This has come from Marca on Twitter. Well, Marca, the magazine, Marca. I feel like this was expected as soon as Ancelotti, left. It was expected that some people would follow him. James Rodriguez was one of the higher linked ones. It's a shame in some aspects. He's a very good player. He's very creative. When he played, he was very good. I personally feel like when he played, he added something. We were passing forward instead of backwards for a change, which at Everton is quite surreal to see sometimes. But ultimately, it did feel like every game he played, he was injured for one or two. His fitness was he could never keep fit or regular in the side. And there were some games where it looked like he was struggling to match the pace. I don't know if that's because we're playing him out wide, and he'd be better central or what have you. But yeah, I'm not surprised he's leaving. I think we'll get money for him though, which is a positive. We bought him for nothing, we'll sell him for something. That's a positive for the club. AC Milan, I thought he would go Real Madrid, but then I didn't know how he'd feel about being let go from Real Madrid. He's literally just got he's just left there. But AC Milan, I think I saw a photo of him circulating with Maldini the other day. Almost looks set. It's been a rumoured one this for a while. Like I said, he was a good player, but if he doesn't want to stay at the club, which I don't think he does, then ultimately you're gonna have to leave if you don't want to stay at the club. We now move on to our next bit of news from Paul Joyce on Twitter, and this is to do with the manager. Everton are finalising contract negotiations with Rafa Benitez as they prepare to name him as manager. Fahad Majiri and business associate Alisher Usmanov have identified Benitez as the best candidate. You know how I feel on Benitez. It's not good, but it's happening. A business associate having an impact on who you get to pick as a manager is a bit weird, which obviously screams he's more than a business associate. I think we all know that deep down. I don't think it's going to go well, but I might be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. And before anyone says it's not the Liverpool links for me, that is a small bit, and the agent Rafa shouts there a little bit, but ultimately I wouldn't be that fussed if I thought he'd bring great football to us and thought he'd succeed. My problem is that I just think the game's left him by. I saw someone say the other day that even in Liverpool, when he managed Liverpool, it took him 4 seasons for his team to score over 50 goals. At Newcastle, they only ever mustered like 41 in the seasons he was there. It was something like that I saw on Twitter. And I will say this, if you were against Ancelotti's tactics and thought they were defensive and boring, I don't think you're going to like Rafa Benitez. I know he's got a couple of shouts from fans and they're going, oh, he's won this and that. But I remember people saying Ancelotti's football was dire and he's won this and that. So if you're there defending him but you didn't like Ancelotti's tactics, I think you're going to be in for a bit of a rude awakening. That's my opinion anyway. I don't think we're going to play the most exciting football under him. I think he's a very pragmatic man. And ultimately, I think it's going to end in tears because that type of football, I think you can get away with if you're Carlo Ancelotti to an extent because you're Carlo, but because you're Rafa Benitez and you've already got you've already got the fan base divided on you and quite heavily. Quite heavily. Our polls say no a lot of the time, but there are a few saying give him a chance. But I think if you're him, you can't get away with negative football, sitting back, hoping for a quick one quick lucky attack. But I might be wrong. Maybe he's changed. Maybe he's going to come back and we're going to play some good football. Maybe we're going to win some stuff under him. Break into that top 10. I hope I'm wrong. I don't like Rafa Benitez. I don't think this is a very good decision at all by the club. But that doesn't mean I'm hoping for him to fail. I hope he doesn't fail because that means the club fails and ultimately, you back and support the club and you support the 11 players on the pitch. And they're the ones I'll be supporting. I'm not keen on Rafa, but it looks like it is what it is. I'm more annoyed at the board for appointing somebody who's this diverse and has already split the fans this much. But you get behind your man, your men on the pitch, you get behind the club, and hopefully, we can see some success. I don't think he'll work out, but I'm certainly not hoping he fails because ultimately it's the club that fails then. But yeah, you guys might disagree. You might agree, or you might be Rafa in fanatics. He might be Rafa out straight away. Let us know in the comments down below. It's an interesting one. Like I said, I think the biggest no-no for me is how badly it's split the fans as well. It's not great leading into a season. But it is what it is. We've got to get on with it, I guess. We also have some news now that's transfer related. This is all some of it's transfer related, some of it's injury related, unfortunately. We now have that Everton are interested in Mattia De Siglia. Everton have identified the Juventus defender as a target this summer, according to Calcio Mercato. The Blues are looking to strengthen their fullback department and have identified him as an option. It is rumoured that he'll cost around 4.3 million. I mean, this, to me, he's a right back, so maybe we're getting him regardless, but this potentially looks like in case Dumfries doesn't come to us. Obviously, Dumfries has been wanted by Inter and Bayern. Both needed to sell players to afford players, but it looks like Inter might sell Hakimi. So, there's some money there now for Inter Milan to go get Denzel Dumfries, who I've just been watching a bit of in the first half of the Netherlands-Czech game. And at one point he was playing as a second striker. It was incredible. He looks really good going forward. He looks really attacking. He's an exciting prospect to have at the club. I just hope we get him, but we'll have to wait and see. But De Siglia seems like a backup in case we don't get him. We also have some injury news, unfortunately, and it's the Lucas Digne injury crisis. Lucas Digne is refusing to give up hope on playing for France in the Euro knockout tie. His tournament appeared to be over when he came off with a thigh injury in the last game, in the game with Portugal earlier this week, less than 7 minutes after coming in at half-time. He's underwent scans on Thursday and results have been given that the 27-year-old's belief in his competition may not be over. Hopefully he does manage to come back. Hopefully he doesn't rush back though. The last thing I'd want is him to rush back from his hamstring or his thigh injury and tear something, because that means he'll miss the start of the season for us, and also because you just don't want to see a player injured, So hopefully he can play in the tournament for France, but hope ultimately as well healthily play in it, It'd be nice to see him get his games, and I hope his tournament's not over for his sake. It'd be a big disappointment for him, but we'll have to see how that one goes. Fingers crossed for Lucas Digne. Everton transfer rumours again. Juventus are willing to sell Mira Demiral, with Everton's interested in him. We are linked with the centre-back from Juve. His interest in him has come despite Ancelotti leaving, and Tutto Sport said Juve are willing to sell him, but only if the 34 million valuation is met. Atalanta are also rumoured to be really wanting him, and they see him as their main transfer this summer, so obviously we're going to have to compete with that. 34 million, I think that's quite expensive for a player that, well, not a player, a position we don't really, I don't think that's our main concern this season. I think we've got a lot of good centre backs. I think our main concern is the right back position, and if Sigurdsson and Hammers are going, we need another centre mid who's creative, who's gonna be able to produce that final killer ball. That Matheus Nunes looks like a ball carrier, so if we get him, that's brilliant. But we need someone who can deliver that final killer ball. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we've got another number 10 coming into the club. Who knows? Rafa apparently does like a 4-2-3-1 that folds into a 4-5-1. So he will want a midfielder who can, deliver that final killer ball in that play that number 10/centre mid role. And if Hammers and Sigurdsson go, I don't think we have one of them. I don't think Andre Gomez is a number 10. I don't think Tom Davis, Decore or Allen are. So it begs to be questioned what we do in the transfer window after that, but maybe we're waiting to see if that actually happens before we do that. We have got our final bit of news. It is about the man that I mentioned before, which is Denzel Dumfries. And it is that PSV boss, Roger Schmidt, has admitted that Everton transfer target Dumfries is likely to leave this summer. Obviously, we reported earlier on that the club looked like they were going to honour his request. Obviously, Inter Milan and Bayern Munich are after him, but Roger Schmidt said this is how it goes in football, especially at PSV. We lose one or two good players every year, he told Dutch outlet NOS. It's been clear for some time that Daniel and Denzel are likely to leave. Actually, last summer, I also got to take into account, and if they do stay, that is great, but we have to prepare ourselves to play another season without them. Obviously, Daniel Milan, who's also playing, I think he will leave. I don't know if he'll come to us. I hope he does. Fingers crossed. But he's a very good player, and he's having a great Euros, which doesn't help if you want to sign him. And Bayern Munich and Inter Milan are good draws. If they're selling Hakimi at Inter, then it's a possibility he might go there. I mean, we just have to pray we get it done. And obviously, Marcel Brands was involved with PSV. I think he might have been a signing that Marcel Brands was in charge of when he was there. So you just hope, that connection is what draws it for him. But you never know. Hopefully we do. Like I said, I've just been watching him, and if you've not watched him this Euros, he looks very good. He looks like a very attacking fullback, which is what I think we need. Obviously, Luka Dean's very good going forward. I think we just need that replicated on the right. Obviously, Seamus Coleman, as I think, is in the twilight years of his career, so we just need that little bit of pace going down the right, And then I think Everton will have improved a lot more once we've got that right midfielder. I think we could still do a right winger to match him. But I've heard, I don't know if they're true, but I've heard rumours that if Benitez comes, he'll be looking to sign a winger. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's everything we've got time for on the news today. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, your family, any Blues you know, anyone. I'd like it, comment down below, Benitez is going to be announced next week. Are you keen? Are you not keen? James Rodriguez, are you gutted he's going? Do you think it's the right choice? Let us know your comments on that down below. I'm sure you've got a lot of opinions on that. And on any of the transfers. Have you seen Dumfries play the Euros? Does he look good? Doesn't he look good? Well, I think he looks good, but you let me know because you might disagree, and that's fine. De Siglia, have you watched him play? Do you think he could be a good option if we don't get Dumfries? And that's all. I hope Luka Dean can play in the Euros. Don't forget to like the Toffee Blues on Twitter. Loads of Everton news is published there every single hour of the day. There's fan interaction stuff as well, like the polls, and we do love a poll on this. We really do. And it's all good fun. It's your voices heard and your voices, shouted out. And you can follow me on Twitter if you like. Occasionally tweet about Everton, and then other than that, it's a load of rubbish. But it's all fun. And most importantly, guys, stay safe and enjoy the Euros. Belgium tonight, Belgium-Portugal. I think we're all supporting Belgium, aren't we, for Big Ron? Good luck to him. I hope, I've got them in the sweepstake for a Mars bar in my family, so I'm hoping they go all the way. And I've been calling for this golden generation to win something since 2010, so it's a bit of pride. But stay safe, guys. Peace out.